little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today I'm going to show you how to crochet the side saddle cluster stitch. And this worked up so beautifully and lovely. Absolutely love the stitch. Very, very simple. It's only a 2-row repeat, which makes it even better. And you have all these clusters going on, and they're all interlocked, and it's absolutely stunning. And especially because of the yarn that I used, it really lent itself to this project, the way the color changed. And I used, no, I'm not sponsored, but you know me, I always like to let you know, this is by Red Heart. It's the Boutique Treasure yarn in the colorway of Mosaic. And because this is a bit more of a foofy, as I call it, a foofy yarn, this calls for a size L crochet hook. I didn't have one on hand. I used a size K. It worked just fine. This is, even though it's a little bit lacy, it's very thick. It's very warm, very toasty, and I made a nice long length of it for a beautiful scarf, as you can see, and I used 3 skeins. Now, keep in mind, the price of this yarn is a little bit pricey, but I felt like spoiling myself, and this was already in my stash, and because of the way the color changes, like I said, this worked out beautifully. So if you want to duplicate the results, you know, that's the yarn that I used. And so for today, I'm going to be using, also by Lion Brand, this is the ice cream. Used this on a previous project, had this ball left over. Also, for those of you that are watching this video at the time I'm filming in February, Michaels is now carrying this yarn again. They just got it in. Again, no, I'm not sponsored, but this yarn in the big skeins, the big scoop skeins of ice cream by Lion Brand, for some reason it only seems to come out once a year, and that time of year is right now. So I went crazy and I bought a ton of them. Literally a ton of them, over a dozen skeins of these big skeins, because, you know, they're hard to come by. So, enough of my schmoozing. Let's get into the pattern. Alrighty, so like I said, I've got a size I crochet hook, and I've got my yarn here, and I already did up the chain, and what you're going to need is a multiple of 5 chains plus 1. And if this is what you're doing for the base chain, you're going to need an additional one. So what I did was, for this example, I did 20 chain stitches, then I added 1, and then because of the base chain, I added another one. So I've got 22 right here. You can make this as wide or as narrow as you want. So you could do a scarf, a blanket. This would make a great baby blanket. You know, a wrap, a throw, what have you. So with my 22 chains, we're going to start by doing a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So right into here, going right in with a single crochet. And then we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, good. Okay. And over the next 4 chains, we're going to do 4 double crochets together. Okay. So, starting into the very next chain, going to start a double but not finish it, and do 3 more. It's 3 and 4. So you'll end up with 5 loops on your hook, you know, the original chain, and then you got 4 more, and then you just pull through all of your stitches. So that's your 4 together. Okay. Then you're going to chain 1. That locks them all into place. And then into the next chain down here, do a single crochet. Like so. Okay. And that's what we're going to repeat for the rest of this chain. So after your single crochet, then we're going to go back to chaining up 3. 1, 2, 3. And then into the next 4 chains, we're going to do 4 double crochet together. So that would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you do them all together. Now it can be a little bit tricky going through all these loops, and it does take some practice, but practice makes perfect. It's not a race. Do it at your own time, and you'll get it. All right, so then we chain 1 to lock them all in place. Then into the next chain stitch, we do another single crochet, chain 3, and then over the next 4 chains, we're going to double crochet 4 together. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then do them all together like so. Chain 1, into the next chain, do a single crochet, there we go, and we're almost to the end here. So after that single crochet, we chain up 3 again, double crochet 4 together again, 1, and 2, 3, and 4. With the 5 loops on the hook, pull through all 5 loops, excuse me. Chain 1 to lock them all into place, and then into the last chain, do a single crochet stitch. Like so. And that is the end of the first row. Alrighty. Alrighty, onwards to row number 2. So we're going to start by chaining up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn the work. Okay. And then into the cluster, we're going to do 1 single crochet. Now, it can be a little bit tricky to figure out where you're going into. Now, at one point I used to think going into here worked best. However, I found that this next loop over, right into here, works better. You know, ultimately, as I always say, whatever works best for you. You know, I'm sure that, you know, some would agree, some would disagree, but that's what I do. Okay, so into that loop right there, you're going to do a single crochet. Okay, and then we're going to basically repeat what we've been doing. We're going to chain up 3, and now into this chain 3 arch from the previous row, we're going to double crochet 4 together. Instead of going into a chain, we're going into this chain space. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, pull through all 5 loops, chain 1, and then into the next cluster. Again, it's into this loop right here. Sometimes it helps if you turn the work a little bit so you can see that you're going underneath both loops of the V. Do a single crochet, chain 3, and then into this next chain 3 loop, we're going to do 4 double crochets together again. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5 loops, chain 1 to lock them all into place, and then single crochet into the top of the next cluster, right into here, like so. Chain 3, and then into the next chain 3 space, right here. 4 more together. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5 loops, chain 1 to lock them into place, and we're almost to the end here. So we're going to single crochet into the top of this cluster here. There we go. Chain 3, and into this last chain 3 space, we're going to do 4 more doubles together. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Pull through all 5 loops, chain 1. Okay, then to finish off, into this single crochet stitch right down in here, you can see where the V is right there, we're going to do a double crochet stitch because we need some height going on here. So be sure to get both legs of the V right there and do a double crochet stitch, and there you go. And so that is the end of row 2. And then we'll do row 3, and then rows 2 and 3 are the repeat for this whole pattern. It's really quite that easy. Alrighty. Alright, so onwards to row 3, I'm going to start by chaining up 1, turn the work, and we're going to skip this first stitch right here. We're going to, after chaining 1, we're going to do a single crochet right into the top of this first cluster. So right underneath there, going to do our single crochet. And you don't want to make this too tight because we're going to need to go into this single crochet stitch on the way back. And I'll show you what I mean, because you know I always like to do a repeat or two. So after doing that single crochet, we're going to do pretty much exactly what we've done before. So that's chaining up 3 into this chain 3 space right here, 4 double crochets together. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and through all 5 loops on the hook, chain 1 to lock them all into place, and then into the next cluster, into the top of the next cluster, another single crochet stitch, like so. Chain 3 into the next chain 3 space right here. 4 double crochets together, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, pull through all 5 loops, chain 1 to lock them, single crochet into the next cluster, right into here, chain 3, 4 double crochets together in the next chain 3 space, excuse me. So right into there, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5 loops, chain 1, and then single crochet into the top of the next cluster, chain 3, 4 double crochets together in the next chain 3 loop, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5 loops, chain 1, and now going to do a little bit of a different thing on this end because we got this big old loop. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to just do into this loop a single crochet stitch, like so. Now you could do a single crochet into one of the chains, but actually this is comparatively a lot easier, just going into that loop with a single crochet, and it gives you that height once again, and also you can tighten up that initial slip knot. All right, so that's the end of the third row, like so. And so what we're going to do is a repeat of rows 2 and 3. I want to do that at least once for you so that you'll be sure to get the pattern. And this is totally reversible. Absolutely love the texturing and the laciness and the clusters. So much fun, and it's easy. So I'm going to start back in with another of row 2 and then another row 3, just so, I want to make sure you got it. All right, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so to repeat row 2, I'm going to start by chaining up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Turn the work. And going to do a single crochet into the top of this first cluster, right into here. Like so. Chain up 3. Into the next chain 3 space, 4 double crochets together. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5 loops, chain 1 to lock them. Single crochet into the top of the next cluster. Now the rows themselves really go the same way time after time. The only real difference is the very beginning and end of each row, how you end them and how you begin them. And that's really the trick of remembering. So after your single crochet, chain up 3, 4 doubles together in the next chain 3 space, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5, chain 1 to lock them, single crochet into the next top of the cluster right there, chain 3, 4 doubles together in the next chain 3 space, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5, chain 1 to lock them, single crochet into the next cluster top. There you go. Chain 3. And we're at the end, just about. So into this chain 3 space, 4 together once more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5 loops, chain 1 to lock them. Now, as far as the beginning and the ending, we started with a chain 5 because, as you can see, we have this big chain 5 on this side. Now on this side, over here, we have our single crochet space right here in between my little thumbnails, and we have this double crochet. So after chaining 1 to lock those stitches, we're going to do a double crochet into the single crochet right here. So that's a double crochet right there. So the sides are a little bit different as to how they look. However, you get the height, and that's the important thing. Okay? So that's the end of the repeat of row 2. Alrighty, so for the repeat of row 3, I'm going to start by chaining up 1, turn the work, and doing a single crochet into the top of this first cluster, like so. Chain 3, 4 double crochets together in the next chain 3 space, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5, chain 1, single crochet into the top of the next cluster, chain 3, double crochet the next 4 together in the chain 3 space right here, 2, and 3, and 4. Pull through all 5, chain 1 to lock them, single crochet into the top of the next cluster, chain 3, double crochet 4 together in the next chain 3 space, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5, chain 1, single crochet into the next cluster, like so, chain 3, 4 double crochets together in the next chain 3 space, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all 5, chain 1, and we've reached the end. And so you can see this big floppy chain 5 at the end. So we're going to single crochet into that space like so. And that's the end of row 3. So you can get a really good idea as to where this pattern is going. It's a little lacy down the front. Now, because I used a size I crochet hook with this rather thin yarn, you can see the lace in between the clusters a bit more defined. Typically with this yarn I would use a size H or even a G, but I wanted to show you how with a different size hook you can really accentuate the pattern. And it's really as easy as that. And I really hope that you enjoy this tutorial because this is a beautiful pattern and you can use it for a whole bunch of different things. And I hope you give it a try. So if you like this tutorial, please hit the little thumbs up button down below. Your support, as always, means ever so much to me. And if you have any questions, comments, what have you, I love to hear from you. And if you haven't hit subscribe already, please do so as well, because I try to post videos as often as I can, whether it's knitting, crocheting, or audiobook narration. So listen, my dears, until next time, I want you all to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.